I just wanted to, in real time, have you guys watch the finish of Desert Solstice. So I'm sure you've seen that, right?
I lived it.
I know you lived it, but yeah. When afterwards, did you like go back? How does that work? When you have a really good race, do you watch yourself?
So normally, definitely not. Like even like podcasts, I never go listen to them. But I've watched significant parts of the Desert Solstice race because like I wanted to see like what were people thinking? Did they recognize what I was trying to do? It like because I like there was this moment in looking back, I feel ridiculous about it. It was like 20 hours in, 4 hours from the finish, and I made some comment to James and I'm like, I have 50K and I'm on pace for the American record, as if like no one else knew. And now like when I went back and watched some of the live streams, like that's all people are talking about.
Dude,
like, they know.
Like I'm literally like texting like people come down to the track like it's happening. Like this is almost like guaranteed, like it's worth waking up coming down to. Like that's why I text like Melissa and Darren who like do photography and video, and I was like, I want to capture like as much of this as I can. Like this is gonna be something special.
I think I probably had the best vantage point, so I'm gonna bring it back and we can just watch.
By the way, this is road and track. It's all out American record, not just track.
For the 24-hour?
Yeah.
Everything. Unreal.
Yeah. While I'm watching this, I tried to run a mile like speed work a couple days ago, and I did 6:24, which is still slower than the last mile I did. Yeah. Like 2 months later, I still can't run what I did at the end of a 24-hour.
Yeah, that's great. Give him a big old hug. Yeah, like that timing, I knew exactly where he'd be on the track. I was like, he's gonna end up over here. Hey, that's my dad on the mic.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow. You hate the bicycle now? I love the bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
You probably heard that? I think that's like a really...
The bike part?
Yeah. It's so specific. It's not like,
so,
oh, you did it. It's like
when you asked earlier, like, James, like, how much did he actually help me versus, like, if I was just doing this on myself? And, like, that captures all of it, which is, like, I take my own training in my own hands. Like, I don't assume my coach is going to do it for me. But the reason I have a coach and don't do it by myself, which is like, as hard as I try on my own, there's things I'm going to miss. And there's stuff that I'm just going to be like, I don't really want to do that. And he picks up those pieces and fills in the cracks. And he's like, these are your weaknesses that you're not addressing on your own. You need to go sit on a bike for an hour and a half. I'm like, that's dumb. That's the stupidest thing. And he makes me do it. And I notice consistently over time how much better it's making me.
And that reference was to a very specific workout.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so there was...
So it's not just... So when I heard you say that, I was assuming it's like, you know, when you get up to 100, 120 miles, at a certain point you can't do more. So it's just aerobic spinning, but you're not just giving aerobic spinning, right?
No,
not at all.
It's like
in the past he's had a lot of quad fatigue on the track, and so like sprint, like if you look at like Tour de France sprinters, their quads are massive, and I wanted to still kind of like cycling has a really good kind of similar motion to running, but you're going to use a lot more quad muscles. That quote was what I said was to a very specific workout where we were doing 1 minute sprints on the bike, on a stationary bike. And it was leading into a race that he cared about a lot, which was Man Against Horse 50. And he was not.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
we were both at that, right?
Yeah. So a lot of people actually like found out who I was because I was the first person to like outright beat all the horses, including subtracting rest time and all that, in 2019. And then I came back in 2020 and did the same thing. And I was going to do the same thing in 2021. And I ended up like being beaten by the horse.
By like the time.
By like
barely
2.5 minutes.
He was so mad.
Because 2 days before he gave me this bike workout. And so for the whole race, like I felt terrible. Like my quads were trashed from the first mile, and it just was like a race that I like go to and have joy at.
He was a lot more built up in that race on like more expectations. Could have been in his eyes and other people's eyes. That could have been his goal race, but this whole time I knew the American record is what he really wanted.
That's the hardest part for an athlete to see. It's like you're gonna have to sacrifice one of the races along the way.
Yeah,
Prize,
and it's so close. It was like October in the race, and he's racing in early December or mid-December.
Yeah. It's funny you brought that up because your dad is mentioned in the Born to Run book as being
the first ever to just beat the horses on foot without the time subtraction.
Without the time,
but he's the finish line.
First person to ever get to the finish line
yeah.
before a human can get to the finish line before a horse does, and he was the first person ever to do it, which is cool. And then like 20 years later, I eventually do it, and then he just does the outright, which was cool. Man Against the Horse, if you haven't done
Full
it,
circle,
come out.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good spot to end it. So smash that like and subscribe button.